Happy New Year, everyone! Yes, happy 2018. I hope you're all having a good year so far. I know I did one video last week when I did Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I covered that, which I wanted to do before the 12 Days of Christmas was up. I wanted to hold off on making other videos for the rest, well, for a little while until I finally got my new background sorted out, which I now have. I'm so happy with it. And I have some form of front lighting now, which I didn't have before. What I'm using is a glass lamp that we had there. That is angled straight at my face. So if you find me like going like that a little bit, it's because I'm being blinded by the lamp. Before I actually get started on today's video, this is my mug. It is a TARDIS mug, and it has a lid. It is great. I love it. One of the other reasons I've held off recording recently is just because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I had a couple of different video ideas. They either like would appeal to different demographics and different sort of people with different tastes. And other than that, I was also struggling with ideas that I felt really passionate about. But luckily, on my way home from the shops early, because I started heading home sooner than Phil did, for a reason I'll tell you in a moment. Luckily, on my way home, I had a chance meeting with what would become my muse, my inspiration for this video in front of my new beautiful background. The reason I came home early, and there's no nice way to put this, while we were out shopping, I had been basically desperate to go to the toilet for about 45 minutes. And I don't mean an easy to do behind the bush number one. Trying to not be explicit here. And this will come into play later as well. So, I head home first and Phil stays behind at the shop. We've got a bit more shopping to do, not too much, but I need to head home because I was like, look, if I don't go home now, I am not going to make it home without there being an accident. I started walking home, go up the hill, onto the flat, you know, all nice. Nearly home, very happy I can get home and find sweet release, or sweet relief, whatever it is. It's relief. Release is something a bit naughtier. Anyway, so I just said that on camera. I'm pretty much in front of my flat door by this point, and just as I go to go around the corner to go around the fence that's sort of there, because the walkway for our block of flats is slightly raised and there's a bit of a rail, so I go to walk around when these two admittedly quite cute guys, dressed very smartly, sort of spot me, smile and say hi. Now, smiling at someone is pretty normal. Actually saying hi to them is a bit less normal. Not quite what I'm used to. I'm not saying it's not a nice thing to do, it's just, you know, I wasn't expecting it. So I just sort of freeze and just like say hi, and then I notice what they are. I see what they're wearing, I see their name badge, and I see that one of them has in his hand the Book of Mormon. And yes, I was very tempted to start singing, but I didn't because I felt like I would have offended them. I see that they're holding the Book of Mormon, I'm like, oh no, they're Mormons. Oh no, is this going to be an intervention? I don't want an intervention. I don't need an intervention. If God is real, which I will clarify, I don't really believe in him. If there is a God, if he exists, he doesn't want me for very obvious reasons. I don't need an intervention, and he certainly doesn't need me to have an intervention. I should clarify now, by the way, I have no problem with religion. I think if you are religious, great. It's nice that you have that faith in something, that something that you can cling on to that gives you hope. It's just, for me, personally, it's just not for me. I just don't believe in it. But again, don't have a problem with anyone who does. I realise they're Mormons, and I feel really awkward now because I'm like, what's going to happen? I don't know what to do. So the first thing this one of the guys asked me is there is a shop nearby that sells lights, or I think it was light bulbs specifically, and I was like, why yes, I just came back from one. Down the hill, to your right, you're there, it's called Boys. And he was like, oh, thank you. And I was like, please let that be it. And I went to move, and I took my keys out of my pocket to open my front door, well, the main door for my block of flats, and the other one said, oh, that's a nice keyring. And I was like, you're really grappling for an excuse to try and keep me here right now, aren't you? So I just said, no, thank you, and went to leave again. However, they then went to, like, talk to me again, and I should have left. I should have just walked off. But as Lizzie, other people in my life have told me on a pretty regular basis, I'm too bloody nice. I can't just say no and walk off. I can't do that because I feel like I'm going to be rude to them. I don't want them thinking that I'm a rude person when I know I don't want to talk to them. I know what's probably going to happen and what I'm not interested in happening, but I don't want to appear rude. So I just stood there and let them start talking, and I regretted it instantly. He said, oh yeah, we don't live too far from here, we just live down the road, but obviously we're American. And I was like, well, I can tell you're American with your accent. And then he said, oh yeah, we're just travelling over here on our mission. And I was like, oh god, here we go. And he said, we're Mormons. I said, oh yeah, I kind of gathered. He went, okay, so you know what Mormons are then? I said, yeah. He said, do you know any Mormons? Have you ever met a Mormon? And I was like, no, not really. Which I haven't. They were my first. They took my Mormon virginity. Oh my god, I can't say that. That's awful. Wow. Anyway, I'm sure the Pope's done it anyway. At this point, I get a phone call from Phil, who's just left the shop, and he's just letting me know that he's left the shop and he's on his way home. Just pretty standard, brief conversation, and I said, yeah, you know, love you, bye, see you in a little bit. Put the phone down, and they went, oh, was that your girlfriend? And I said, oh, what makes you say that? He said, oh, he said love you at the end. I said, oh, yeah, I didn't say yes, I just said it's my partner. And they went, oh, okay. And then they went to keep talking, and I just said, look, I'm just going to stop you here and let you know in advance, because I've tried dropping a hint there and they clearly weren't picking it up. So I just said, look, I'm gay, I'm LGBT, I really don't think I'm the right person for you to be talking to. I feel like, you know, I don't want you wasting your time. And they just went, oh no, we're fine with that, which I appreciated. And I know there are plenty of religious people out there who don't mind it, but I wasn't expecting to hear that from a Mormon for some reason. So I did appreciate that. A little part of me does kind of think they were just saying that to get me on side, but you know what, who am I, you know, I don't know for certain. Now, I just tried to use that as a way to get out of the conversation. They were not letting me out of this conversation. I was like, oh god, what am I going to do? I need to get out of here. I felt really awkward. And remember, I was still needing to go to the toilet. So I'm stood there, feeling really awkward in front of two very religious people who I have no interest being in a conversation with, because it just makes me feel really sort of vulnerable, and I need to defecate. What do I do? I quote, he said, would you mind if we come inside and we can have a nice conversation about our Lord and Saviour? And I was just like, trying not to laugh in this poor man's face, but at the same time I was like, no, I think we're a bit busy today. I was lying. We've been bloody lazy today, but I don't care. I don't want Mormons in my flats. I just said, yeah, no, we're busy. You know, nice meeting you, but you know, I do need to get on. And then they said, oh, well, do you have another way we can contact you? Like, could we have your mobile number? Or maybe your Facebook? And I was like, you know what, no, I'm going to say no to that. It's fine. I really don't think, you know, you're going to get anywhere with this. I'm not really interested. Sorry if you just saw a massive jump there. The camera decided it wasn't going to work, so I had to get up, delete some spare footage, and I'm having to re-record the little ending there. So if there's a bit of a jump, I apologise. I was literally at the door. My key was in, I was turning it, I was about to go in, and they turned around and said, I don't know exactly what they said, but to paraphrase, they said something along the lines of, if we sit down and have a conversation, we can open your eyes to the ways of God. We can introduce you to his magical world and you can see what he does for us. And I, not caring anymore, not being Mr. Nice Guy, just turned around and said, look, I honestly don't care. I literally need to go and have a shit. And I wasn't kidding. I did need to go and have a shit. And now that's out on the internet. So yeah, I got out of this conversation with Mormons by saying I needed to go and, what's the word, offload. So that's my story about the Mormons. And I'm going to hell for that, if such a thing exists. I'm sure that's where I belong, because this ain't getting no intervention. I don't hate religion, as I said earlier in the video. I have no problem with it. I just don't like it being shoved in my face. I find it awkward and really I feel really vulnerable when someone tries to force their religion down my throat and try to convert me, as it were, convert. But yeah, that's my story with the Mormons. Yeah? I made them go away by telling them I needed to shit. That's quite a day. Bye!